The film begins with a man named John Francis is shown campaigning to become the President of the United States. In front of his supporters, John delivers his vision and mission if he is elected president. At the same time, an assassin is seen lurking on the rooftop of a building, trying to sneak inside. After campaigning in front of his supporters, John then heads to his private room to rest, where the assassin suddenly breaks in and intends to kill the presidential candidate. After successfully killing John, the assassin activates a bomb previously planted in the location, while waiting for the police and SWAT team to enter the area to surround him. Elsewhere, in a secluded house in the middle of the forest, a man named Gabriel is seen in pain after he continuously vomiting in front of the bathroom closet. His wife named Bryn tries to calm him down and advises him not to drink anymore by mixing seeds and wine, while gives him medicine to alleviate some of the pain in his head. During breakfast, Gabriel accidentally overhears an interview with a doctor who is researching identical twins separated at birth and growing up with the same hobbies. They also wear the same clothes, have the same hairstyle, and even the same type of dog. However, there is something deeper in their DNA, where some cases of these types of twins can share the same emotions and memories due to synaptic connections or telepathic relationship. After they finish their breakfast, Gabriel and Bryn head to their restaurant to work because they can't always rely on government assistance. At their family restaurant, Gabriel also employs a man named Jesse who works as a waiter and does cleaning there. Not long after, a sheriff from the town named Hodge came to visit for coffee and talk with Gabriel. Hodge says that Native Americans believe that when they die, they will be reborn, and before they die, they should do something beneficial for themselves. Hearing this, Gabriel also says that Buddhists also believe in that belief. Sometime later, Gabriel and Bryn are back home, where he gives Bryn a bouquet of flowers as a simple birthday present for her, even though Bryn's birthday is still a week away. Not long after, while Gabriel was trying to help his wife cook, his body suddenly convulsed upon hearing music from his phone's ringtone, triggering memories of someone he had killed. The scene changes to a private cruise ship owned by a politician named Jack who is enjoying his private time fishing, accompanied by his wife named Julia. At that moment, a man resembling Gabriel is also there, swimming stealthily and intending to kill Jack. Shortly after, Jack is very surprised by Gabriel's presence there and tries to resist with a knife nearby. Julia, seeing someone threatening their safety, tries to grab the pistol in their cruise ship's kitchen drawer. After that, she fires several shots at Gabriel, but it seems he can still hold on and tries to push Jack into the ocean. Seeing her husband continuously being attacked, Julia fires several shots with the intention of killing Gabriel, but some of her shots hit Jack, causing him to die because of her actions. Seeing his target dead, Gabriel tried to distance himself from the ship and pulled the grenade pin, which then exploded. Sometime later, Gabriel appeared to be in pain, as in the beginning of the movie. However, this time he seemed to have direct memories of himself when he killed someone. Bryn, who was also there, asked Gabriel not to do it again and asked him to forget his dreams. However, according to him, it wasn't as easy as she said because it looked very real in every occurrence, so he became very angry and felt that something was wrong with him. Gabriel then tries to have his condition checked by a doctor named Reese, who is a psychiatrist, on his wife's advice. After examining Gabriel's medical records, Dr. Reese says that the brain scan results appear normal and his condition seems to be more psychological in nature. Reese then asks Gabriel to talk about his dreams, and he tells that sometimes his dreams feel very real, so when he wakes up, he becomes unsure if what he experienced was a dream. Bryn also mentions that her husband often sleepwalks, as if chasing people and killing them. Due to the stress caused by his condition, Gabriel now frequently argues with his wife. Hearing this explanation, the doctor says that unconscious dreams can be a disturbance when awake, as it seems when Gabriel wakes up but still feels like he's in a dream. To some extent, everyone has what's called conscious dreaming. Maybe Gabriel is too tired because he's always working. Reese then gives Gabriel a sedative as a first step to help him sleep well from his anxiety. After Gabriel returns from the doctor's place, he stops by the library to look for some information from his memories about several murder cases that are happening, such as the assassination of the presidential candidate and also the political white horse. As Gabriel exits the library, he appears to convulse again upon hearing a song, as if he transforms into someone else. Not long after, Gabriel is now at the train station and following someone who is also connected to two people he has previously killed. When the man is on the train platform, Gabriel suddenly pushes him from there, coinciding with a passing train, killing the man. The police, who happened to be on duty at the train station, witnessed the incident and immediately tried to chase Gabriel until they found him hiding. Unfortunately, Gabriel managed to overpower him and even killed the police officer with his own weapon. Like his previous actions, Gabriel pulls the grenade pin he's carrying, blowing himself up to eliminate the evidence at the scene. After that, Gabriel returns to his bathroom, but this time he is really angry about what happened. Bryn then tries to calm him down, but this time Gabriel's feelings and thoughts are mixed up until he himself is confused about what happened to him. He then asks about what he did last night, and Bryn explains that she came home first, while Gabriel was at the diner with Jesse drinking together until late at night. Hearing this, Gabriel doesn't believe his wife's words and asks about a man named Jack who died because of him. Bryn says that his words are getting more absurd because everyone in this country knows that Jack died was indeed murdered, but it wasn't because of him. Bryn advises him to meet with Reese again, to check his condition, which is becoming uncontrollable. Sometime later, after his condition improves, Gabriel is in his warehouse to retrieve a handycam and secretly places it on a bookshelf in his room. His goal is to ensure what is happening with himself or his wife. While in the bathroom, Gabriel also disposed of the medicine given by Reese and filled the package with tranquilizers he bought from the pharmacy. Later in the afternoon, Gabriel visited Sheriff Hodge, who was still at the police station, where he told about two men who were killed by someone when they were about to do something very important, because Gabriel was curious about what benefits those people could get from their deaths. Hodge seemed not too concerned about the matter and just thought that Gabriel is in a tough time managing his late parents' restaurant, which making him stressed. Hodge also offered him to go spring deer hunting like last year to relieve the stress in his mind. After returning from the police station, Gabriel went to his restaurant and only met Jesse inside. At that moment, Jesse said that their automatic dishwasher was malfunctioning and asked Gabriel to replace it with a new one. However, he said that the damage was only in the hardware device, and after closing the restaurant, Gabriel would stop by the hardware store to buy a new hardware device for their automatic dishwasher. Suddenly, Gabriel accidentally hears the music again in the restaurant. But this time, he manages to control himself by smashing the speaker and interrogating Jesse to ask who he works for. Jesse then earnestly says that he doesn't know anything and doesn't understand Gabriel's intentions. After calming down, Gabriel is seen searching for information about the murder at the train station and also the empty building due to the grenade explosion. Gabriel then accidentally saw Jesse, who seemed to be calling someone from outside the restaurant, where the call was directed by Sheriff Hodge. Jesse then left the place, and Sheriff Hodge came there along with a man named Anthony who had been monitoring Gabriel from behind. After a long journey, Gabriel arrives at the train station to assess the situation there and search for any clues he can find. He was also at the location where a policeman died because of a grenade explosion. Suddenly from behind, Hodge shot Gabriel until he died. Shortly after, Gabriel then woke up from his dream. But this time Bryn seemed very angry with him because she had found the handycam deliberately hidden by Gabriel to monitor what had happened with them. Bryn thought Gabriel was getting crazier and kept hitting him. However, their adrenaline spikes due to the argument, and eventually, they enjoy an intimate moment to lighten the mood. After that, Gabriel checked the recordings from the handycam he kept with his wife, where he didn't find any peculiarities in the recording, which further confused him to believe his memories. But Bryn assured him that she would always be there for him, accompany him, and always try to believe in him. Gabriel then met Reese again at his practice place and asked who Reese really is because for him, he is very suspicious. Gabriel also recounts that he seems to be enjoying his dreams, even killing people feels very enjoyable to him. Hearing that, Reese said that his mind and soul are now in a phase where Gabriel no longer has to go anywhere. His parents' departure, long working hours, lack of sleep, and the absence of children in his marriage may have caused Gabriel stress, and he vented it all out in his dreams. Additionally, Bryn has told Reese that Gabriel has disposed of all the medicine Reese gave him. After that, Reese will give him medicine again and ask him this time to follow all the doses and proportions given to him. When Reese left the room, Gabriel tried to retrieve some data stored in the room. Shortly after, Gabriel went back home to check some information he got from Reese's place. Suddenly, the music resurfaced. But this time Gabriel could suppress the sound because it turns out the medicine given by Reese is to make Gabriel enter his subconscious to obey and follow their commands. Apparently, Gabriel hasn't taken that medicine for a long time, so the music he heard from his phone, which would automatically play at certain times, no longer affects him. Gabriel chose to follow the path they had set and pretended to be someone else as those people expected. Outside his house, Gabriel met Anthony, who had been waiting for him, and gave him a mission, just like before. Sometime later, Gabriel arrived at a location and climbed a tower to aim at the target that had become his target mission. Gabriel was also seen monitoring the surroundings with the binoculars on his weapon and found Sheriff Hodge and his 2 henchmen preparing to aim at him. At that moment, Gabriel, who wasn't under their command, chooses to aim at one of Sheriff Hodge's henchmen, who then leaves the scene. Shortly after, Gabriel arrived at Reese's place, where he saw that the condition in the practice room was empty because Reese had moved all his belongings to his secret place. Fortunately for him, Reese returned to the place because Gabriel's medical records were still there. Gabriel then pointed his gun at him and asked about the Sons of Liberty. Reese then finally revealed that Gabriel was actually a research subject being developed by him into a top-level killer, and this project was not funded by the government but by independent parties. However, before Gabriel could get more information from him, Sheriff Hodge and some of his henchmen arrived there to arrest him. Shortly after, Gabriel managed to deceive them all and left using the sheriff's car to go home. Upon arriving home, Gabriel then asked Bryn to be honest with him because he believed that Bryn was also involved in all this. Gabriel already knew almost everything from Reese, and now he asked Bryn to be honest with him. Although Gabriel's heart was deeply wounded to see someone he loved so much had conspired to exploit him, Bryn finally confessed that she was recruited a year ago to be his wife. Additionally, she was forced to do it after she had legal issues involving money, and what Bryn didn't anticipate was the growing feeling of love in her heart towards Gabriel. Bryn actually wanted to break free from all this, but she was confused about where to start. Not long after, Sheriff Hodge and his men arrived there. Knowing this, Gabriel and Bryn tried to leave the place. But before they could escape, Hodge and his men caught them and managed to make Gabriel surrender, making it easier for Hodge to kill him. Elsewhere, another Gabriel wakes up from his sleep. At that moment, George, who is in charge, reassures him, saying there's no need to worry because he's been there many times before. It's just temporary because after this, Gabriel won't remember what happened to him. Suddenly, Gabriel's body seemed to stop moving after receiving stimuli, and George tried to administer a defibrillator to keep him conscious. Seeing this opportunity, Gabriel managed to overpower George and free himself. After incapacitating some guards there, Gabriel explored the place to find out who George really was and what the place was. Gabriel then met Reese conducting some experiments, and he asked him where he was and who the Sons of Liberty were. Reese said this was where he was born, then took him around the place to see the truth. Apparently, the Sons of Liberty were actually an American colonist organization, a secret society to resist the 1773 British taxation, and the people Gabriel killed were actually fighting for true independence so that Reese's paymasters could control it without resistance. Initially, Reese only developed skin for burn victims, and he began research that no one else dared about internal organ formation and brain layer regeneration. Reese sought to understand how the human body worked and learn how to duplicate it. Knowing how dangerous this was, people in the American Medical Association didn't authorize it. However, the Sons of Liberty freed his demands, faked his death, and gave him a blank check to continue his research. Reese then revealed that Gabriel's real name was Danny Lucas Forney, the best Navy SEAL in history to carry out black ops in Iraq, Kuwait, and Colombia, and the best military hitman America ever had. But his superior, Hodge, set him up and brought him here for his secret project, where Gabriel is programmed like a machine to kill according to their requests. Reese then shows another clone of Gabriel in a tube. There are 13 clones with 13 targets to be eliminated. But the process isn't perfect because Reese had to kill the original Gabriel so the other clones could take turns using his memories and keep them from experiencing mental disturbances. Each time one of them is revived, Reese has to redraw the previous death, otherwise, their memories could transfer from one clone to another. Their main goal is to eradicate human soldiers and turn their secret project into a deadly killing machine. At that moment, a smoke bomb suddenly explodes among them and Gabriel was shot by one of Hodge's men in the stomach. As the man prepares to shoot Gabriel again, Bryn comes to his rescue. Reese, who is still alive, then asks Hodge to capture Gabriel alive, but he refuses, stating that once the beast escapes, it won't be tame anymore. Hodge also instructed Reese to go to the surface because the place was about to explode. Hodge then would follow after eliminating Gabriel and Bryn. On the other hand, Bryn urged Gabriel to move quickly because the gate wouldn't hold them much longer. Seeing his condition, Gabriel felt he wouldn't last much longer and asked Bryn to release his other selves from the tubes. Shortly after, Reese, who had reached the surface, was picked up by Anthony, who had been waiting for him. Reese assured Anthony that their secret would remain safe because no one would survive the place. On the other side, Bryn tried to wake up the other clone of Gabriel. Despite her efforts, the clone refused to awaken. At that moment, Hodge, who has arrived, knows better how to wake Gabriel up. It turns out that the clones are also revived using the same music as when they receive their missions. Bryn then attempted to attack Hodge, but her strength wasn't enough to defeat him. Hodge then ordered Gabriel to kill Bryn as his initial command. Knowing this, Bryn then tried to remind Gabriel that he was not a killer but a man she deeply loved. Apparently, Gabriel still retained memories of his past because when he woke up, he didn't respond to stimuli like the other clones. After that, Gabriel and Bryn tried to escape using the elevator before everything exploded and killed them both. However, Reese had disabled the elevator, causing it to malfunction. Gabriel then asked Bryn to leave him there, even though it was difficult for her. However, Gabriel stated that he was now just a killing machine that could pose a threat to the nation's safety and asked her to reveal the facts about this experiment so that everyone would know about the potential danger that could destroy the country in the future. Moral lesson from the story: if you're ever cloned, make sure your twin isn't a secret assassin with a bad taste in music. This way, your biggest problem will be sharing clothes, not memories of random murders.